When it comes to traversing strings in questions like these, namely finding prefixes among a bunch of terms, there are a few tricks that you want to keep up your sleeve. And part of that is using list comprehension to make this a little bit more seamless. So let's start with the problem itself, right? The idea is that we have a bunch of terms and we want to find the longest common prefix among all the strings in the array, right? So for flower, flow, and flight, like in example 1, FL is the most common prefix, right? Each of them starts with an F, followed by an L, and nothing more. So let's start first by saying if not stirs, return an empty string. There is no prefix, common prefix among nothing, right? It's just nothing, right? That's all there is to it. Then we'll take the length of our stirs, the array that we're trying to traverse. We'll say n equals len of stirs. The common is going to be an empty list. Then we're going to say min len equals, and this is actually a really cool functionality in Python. We'll say map of len and then stirs. This is going to give us the minimum length of all the strings in the array. Minimum length of all the strings in the array. And the reason we want to do that is, remember, we want to find the longest common prefix. That's the longest it could be for all the strings in the array, right? Is this as long as the shortest term in the array of the string, right? Then we say for I in range min underscore len, if len of set s of I for s in stirs equals 1, right? We want to com.append stirs 0 I, okay? Else break. So now let's review this, because this is quite a bit to unpack. It's kind of hard to visualize this, so we have to go through it a bit slowly. So for I in the range of the length of the minimum length of the strings in the array, a lot to unpack there. If the length of the set of si for s in stirs, so at the ith position of the minimum length, right, for each of the strings in stirs is 1. That means length of set means the length of the unique, that's what set gives us, the unique items in a collection. If the length of that is 1, that means there's only one letter that they have, right? All of them have it in common. But if there's 2, it could be that all but 1 have a letter in common, or vice versa, right? So if that passes, com.append stirs 0 I, right? That's the letter we want. Else break. And then we found our longest prefix. We return join of com. Run, accepted, submit, outstanding.